Hey YouTube, this video is on if you've ever had issues with these little plugs disconnecting when you lose power, things like that, and trying to get them back online. That's what this video is for, so you're in the right place. As you can see, this fan is on. We're going to use that for a demonstration as we go through everything. I'm just going to shut it off now in case it's blowing on the audio. It's just here so that you can see that when we get the plug set up that it will work. I have an iPhone, another iPhone here that we're going to go through some of the settings together. And this right here, it's called the Habitat. Basically, it's just a long extension cord type thing, has some USBs on it, a plug, a couple plugs on it. And we're just using it. I actually use it when I lose power and I have to reset up my things myself, just because it's right next to where I sit in my den, and it's just easy rather than standing at the area wherever you have a bunch of these plugged into a wall to turn lights on and off and stuff. So I'm guessing you've seen these. Obviously, that's probably why you're here. There's a bunch of different kinds. This one's from Tekken. And we can set one of these up if we want as well. These have never been set up before, so we'll set one of those up also. So just giving you some little tips. One of the things that I found out when using these is, again, I'll lose power, and depending how long you lose power, some of these won't reconnect, and then you're just like, oh, it's such a pain. I have so many hooked up in the house for different lights, and it just really starts to become frustrating when you got to keep setting these things up. So tip number one is, if you've already had it set up on the internet, and this is something they don't tell you, and you lost power, you come back home, and some of these things aren't connected, you might do what I've always done and try to reconnect them, which is kind of frustrating and a pain in the butt. Tip number one is, how these things work is that they continue even after you lose power to look for the internet, so that they can reconnect. They're not doing it while you have no power, but when you get power back, they'll start to try to connect. Depending how many of these things you have hooked up, they can't all do it at the same time, so some of them may time out, if you will. That's what I want to call it. So you'll have some that don't reconnect. Some will, some won't. Best way to fix that, without going through all the settings, hitting the button and all that stuff again, that I found, again, and nobody tells you, this is Gmile, by the way. It doesn't really matter which one you have. Best way I found to fix that is to literally unplug this from the wall. You can keep whatever's plugged into it. Just unplug this from the wall for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then keep whatever's plugged in, if you want, plugged into it, and then just plug it right back into the wall. Wait 3 to 5 minutes, and I would say 9.9 times out of 10, it will connect again, and you won't even have to go through all the other steps that we're going to go through. Again, I wish they told us that. They didn't, but that's something that I found over time after so many times having to set these things up all over again. So that's the best tip out of here. The rest that we're going to do, we're just going to kind of go through the iPhone and Android, whatever you use. This is the Alexa app, and we're going to get out of here, and we're going to go into this app, which is SmartThings app. So SmartThings app is what's used all the time to connect different things. And these are things that are on my internet right now. I have bedroom fan, I have a family room fan, I have all kinds of things on here. It's not literally showing everything because I also have things in groups. And this iPhone's really old. I'm using the better iPhone because it has a better camera for the video. But we needed something to go through this. So first thing we'll do is we'll just, I'm just going to plug this in and we're going to see what's going to happen. So right now you see it blinking as it's trying to find the internet. It looks like that it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, now it's blinking again. So when things are blinking, they're like looking for the internet to try to connect. And if they can't, this is what you'll get is that constant blue blinking, which is what you need to have. This would be the rapid blinking, they would call it, that you need to have to connect. So if I'm in the SmartThings app right now, and now I'm just going to say I want to connect to something else. So I'm going to hit that plus button, add a device, and yep, continue. This is a smart plug. It's not Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi. There's different names and things like that, like Zigbee, whatever. And if you found one of those, you can pick that. So I'm just going to pick, I wish this iPhone was a little faster responding. So it's just a socket for Wi-Fi. So I'm just going to tap that. And now it wants us to be on 2.4 gigahertz. These things only work on that. So what does that mean? So that means your device that you're going to use to try to talk to this has to be on 2.4 gigahertz. So depending on your router, if you have a router like I do, I have a router that has 2 Wi-Fi signals with 5 gigahertz and 1 Wi-Fi signal with 2 gigahertz. So right now I have this phone on the 2 gigahertz side. And you can see up here, it shows 5 gigahertz and there's a little check X in there, so you can't use that. It wants you to only use 2.4. So it's picking up my Wi-Fi right there, just what I named it. That's called your SSID. So whenever you name your home internet something, when you're naming it something, that name is literally called SSID for all you people that just don't know that. Anyway, so I named mine Rapture 2G2, just so when I'm using a phone or a tablet or whatever, trying to connect to my Wi-Fi, if I want to connect to the 2G side, I'm looking for that name. So it already sees that name, and it's going to want me to put my password in. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. So I put it in and we're connected. Power on the device, and after it's been powered off, power on the device after it has been powered off for 10 seconds. So it's not, as you can see here, it's not doing anything. So I'm just powering it on right now. And just hitting next. Press and hold the reset button for 5 seconds. Just pressing it in, holding. So now you see it blinking. I would call this a rapid blink. So now I'm going to hit next. Confirm it's blinking. It is. Next. So it's asking blinking slowly or quickly. I would say quickly. And now it's going to try and connect to this. And as you watch this, if you see that blinking start to get slow or change, which we just did, that means it's found it. And now it's going to, now it also, I just had a pop-up show up. on my Alexa, which I can't say that too loud because I have too many devices in here, but you see that it pulled it up, Mini Smart Socket 6. So I can tap to add this device. So I'm just going to hit yes, add the device. So now it's added successfully. So this thing is going to work now. A little pencil here, if you can see that little pencil, I can tap that and I can give it a name. So I'm just going to wipe out the name here and just call it small fan. So I just named it small fan because this is what I'm going to use it. And now I'm going to hit done. And here we go. So what I can do now is I can unplug the fan where it was and plug it in here. And now when I hit this button, you can see that it's going on and off. So I'm just going to turn the fan, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to hit the fan once. Well, actually, that's on. If I tap it again, it's going to shut it off. Well, it should have shut it off. You can see how it's turning the light on and off. Oh, I wonder. Yeah, let's... Well, this is a bad example. Sorry about that. I know why it's happening. This is also I'll show you. It's a rechargeable fan. I forgot about that. So you can see how it's unplugged here, but it is working. But for just the sake of the video, we'll just go by this. So if I was to, you can see that that shows off and that's off. That shows on and you can see that the light's on. So we know that that switch or that outlet thing is working now. And that's in the on position. So if I wanted to tell ITSTHISEASY to use it, which was the whole point of why I wanted to do it in the first place. Unfortunately, now it has to load again. I'm just waiting for ITSTHISEASY to load. I had it sitting there, but it must have timed out or something. So the whole point of this is I want to get it so I can be able to use on my ITSTHISEASY. So I'm just like waiting for it. Again, this, I apologize, this phone is like so old, it's really slow, and yeah, unfortunate. So it might already be in here, so I'm looking in devices, and I'm just going to see if I can find it, and I can't, but let's go to plugs, and we'll look and see if we can find the one that I named small fan in here. So there it is, you see it? And it's showing on, and you can see that it's on here. So now I'm going to talk to, in this room I call it ECHO, so I'm going to tell it to turn off small fan. Echo, turn off small fan. And you see that the light went out. And this should at some point change to off, just like all the other ones. Again, I just think it's the phone is just really slow. And now you see that it just did change to off. And so let's pretend we lost power. And for whatever reason, this thing won't connect again. Like I said, the best solution for that is to just unplug it. Literally, I'm just going to do that. So basically what I've done by just unplugging this, I haven't reset it, I haven't done anything, I've just unplugged it. No different than if the power went out in your house. And like I said, when that power comes back, everything starts to try and connect all at once. And depending how many things you have that are Wi-Fi in your house, plugs, things like that, is how long it's going to take. So if some of these things don't connect, rather than going through the settings like we just did, just unplug it from wherever it's plugged in. Again, you can leave the whatever is plugged into it plugged in. Just unplug it from the wall, wait 3 to 5 minutes, and then plug it back in, and you'll watch, and it's already connected. And there's no light here because it's still off here. And you'll see how it does work pretty quickly, but it doesn't work quickly when you have too many things trying to connect at once. So I'm going to tell Echo to turn it on. Echo, turn on small fan. And you can see the light came on. And that's literally it. So that's how you set these up. And again, I can show you on a brand new one. I mean, that one right there was old. This one has never been set up before, but they all work the same. And the Smart Life app is how you get them all to work. So that's plugged in now. And we're going to go over to the Smart Life app. We're going to get off of that. And we can see this is blinking. So let's add another device. So how you do that, we're on home in Smart Life, and we're just going to tap this blue plus here, and then it pops up a little box, add device or create scene. We want to add a device. Again, it's another socket Wi-Fi. These don't operate on Bluetooth, so I'm going to tap that. It's just showing two different places that we can log into, and it was looking for our the correct internet. So power on the device after it's been powered off for 10 seconds. So for whatever reason, it doesn't really want to shut off. Maybe we can hold the button in a lot of times to force it to shut off. You can see the light's off now. And now it kind of like just did a restart. This is the slow blink. See how slow that's blinking? And that's what they were talking about. So that's off. So I want to hold this in for the fast blink. And it said you had to do it like 5 seconds. Now you can see that that's blinking much faster. You can do it either way. I just like the fast blink one better. Which press and hold for 5 seconds. We already did that. Confirm the indicator is blinking, which it is. And it asks which one. Blink slow or blink fast. We got the blink fast. And now you're going to watch this little light change like it just did. And essentially that lets you know right away that it's talking to SmartThings. And once SmartThings is done the whole connection, there it is, smart socket number 5. I got a notification that you guys can't see on my screen from ALEXA telling me that there's another thing there. So now once it's added, you have to tap that blue, and now it's successfully added. If we wanted to name it, tap the little pencil, tap in that little box, erase whatever it is there, and we can call this small fan 2. I'm gonna have to change this after, obviously, and then just hit done. And sorry for all the glare, everybody. I didn't plan for that, and I'm just trying to show you as best I can with this whole thing. It's just as a window behind me. But you can see that it's connected. We called it small fan 2. And now I'm just gonna hit done, and it's gonna finish going through its thing and make sure that it's there. And now if we tap here, power on, and you see the light down here is red. Shut it off, it goes away. Also, we should be able to, the power is on. Echo, turn off small fan 2, and you can see that it shut it off. So it's as simple as that, guys. And again, if you lose power, the first thing to do is just unplug it. If whichever ones aren't connecting, just unplug them one by one, and you can keep something plugged into it like I showed you. Wait like 3 to 5 minutes, plug it back in, and then it will reconnect, and you shouldn't have to go through the settings again. So before you go through all those steps again to do the settings, sometimes they're harder than that if it's not cooperating. Before you go through all that, just unplug it from the wall, wait 3 to 5 minutes, plug it back in, and it should reconnect on its own. If it doesn't, which 99.9% of the time it does, like I said, I wish they told us that. If it doesn't, just do the steps that we just went through just right there, and that's how you get them back online. So I hope this video helps you guys. Again, sorry about my fake fan thing here. I just forgot that that it's also charges, so it already has a charge in it, and that's why it'll come back on without anything plugged into it. But I just wanted to show you that we could turn it on. Either way, I was able to show you here. So just like tapping this again, that lights up. There's a red light right there. Tap it again, light goes away, so you can see that they're on. Before I let you go, we've been offline for a while, and just like I said before, if you unplugged it and then plug it back in, when you do, make sure you don't touch these buttons, because that will screw up the settings. So we'll just give it a second, and if you remember, that one's called small fan, and let me get it so you can see the light. Echo, turn off small fan, and you can see the light went out. So that's the solution. Like I said, the problem is too many things trying to reconnect at once, and they can't all connect, and these things have a timeout, so it'll only keep trying to connect for so long, and then it just gives up. And that's why, depending how many of them you have, not all of them will reconnect. That doesn't mean that they can't, or you have to go through the settings again. It just means you have to unplug them, give it a few minutes, plug it back in, and let them reconnect, and you'll be good to go. So that's all I got, you guys. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, as always, hit me up on YouTube. I try to get back to everybody as quick as possible. If you found this content helpful at all, please subscribe and hit the like button. It does help us YouTube creators. And that's about it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Like I said, if you have any other questions, hit me up on YouTube and I get back to you really quickly. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.